Hello, this is my first video on head and neck on special request of my students of second year MBBS. I'm going to make this video, and in this video I'm particularly focusing on the cranium, and in cranium I will go for the anterior cranial fossa. So here you can see that in this animation you can see that the anterior cranial fossa, and I would definitely go with the pin markings, so you can better have better understanding of the boundaries of anterior cranial fossa. So here are the pin markings you can see. So in this here you can see this is the frontal bone, and this is also a frontal bone, and this is actually frontal bone. Yeah. It has got two plates. One is vertical plate, or and other one is the horizontal plate. Vertical plate is it makes the forehead, and in this frontal bone we have got frontal air sinus, whereas in these horizontal plates, which actually form the roof of the orbit, and these front roof of the orbit, these frontal bones are thrown into different different they are not flat, they are thrown into folds, just like in the folds of the sulci and gyri of the inferior surface of the frontal lobe. So here comes the frontal lobes of the brain or inferior surface. So these two floors of the cranial fossa, they have to accommodate those frontal lobes, their inferior surfaces. So that's why these are thrown into in accordance with the sulci and gyri of the inferior surface of the frontal lobe. So anteriorly in the midline, here you can see this is a frontal crest, internal frontal crest. Here you can see on the top of the screen as well, in labeling as well. So this is the internal frontal crest. So in the midline posterior, in the midline in the center, you have got this is crista galli. Crista galli literally means just like you see in a rooster or a cock, you see it's a red part or fleshy part on the top of its head. So this is that crista galli. So on either side of crista galli you have got cribriform plate. So here you can see very well that small nerves are seen, which are called anterior and posterior sorry this bone is actually a sieve like, so that's why this is called cribriform plate, and these are the fibers or axons from the nasal mucosa, which is olfactory mucosa, from the roof, which is present on the roof. Olfactory mucosa, small axons, they make bundles and they join together to make up olfactory bulb or olfactory nerve. So olfactory nerves are present on either side of these crista galli, or you can say so the olfactory nerves are present, or they are present on the top of these two cribriform plates. So in the midline posteriorly, this is the area which is called jugum. Just behind the jugum, this is here you can see this flat area where my cursor is. So this is the sulcus chiasmaticus, because optic chiasma is present here, and from optic chiasma optic nerve arise and it enters the optic canal. Here you can see the optic canal on the right side, and likewise here is the optic canal, and you can see the optic nerve as well entering into the optic canal. And behind this hypophyseal fossa where pituitary gland lies, this is Sella turcica, and behind the hypophyseal fossa you can see in the dorsum celli. So these four structures they actually form the Sella turcica. Dorsum celli, pituitary, hypophyseal fossa, sulcus chiasmaticus, and sulcus chiasmaticus, uh, and this is tuberculum celli. So tuberculum celli, sulcus chiasmaticus, hypophyseal fossa, and dorsum celli, they actually all make a Sella turcica, which literally means Turkish saddle. And on either side this there is posterior anterior cranial fossa is posteriorly, it is bounded by the lesser wing of the sphenoid bone. Here you can see as well lesser wing of the sphenoid bone. On medially lesser wing of the sphenoid, it ends into clinoid process. These are anterior clinoid process, and here comes the posterior clinoid process. Here you can see this is anterior clinoid process, this is posterior clinoid process. Clinoid process literally means you have seen the double bed or bed which has got a back, and on the back there is a rounded top like thing on both ends of the bed. So that is clinoid process. So again we can see it, to summarize it again, I would definitely go for this is vertical plate, this is horizontal plate of frontal bone, this is internal occipital crust, this is crista galli. On either side we have got cribriform plate where two optic olfactory nerves are present on the top of it, and if I zoom in you can very well see small nerves coming out of these foramen, and they would join the optic olfactory bulb to make a olfactory nerve. And then in the midline we have got tuberculum celli, then a sulcus chiasmaticus, then where optic chiasma lies, then we have got this is tuberculum celli, hypophyseal fossa, and then most posteriorly we have got dorsum celli. The ends, this is the bounded posteriorly by the lesser wing of sphenoid, and here comes the greater wing of sphenoid bone on either side. So again I would like to this is greater wing of sphenoid, this is lesser wing of the sphenoid. So this was a bit about the and here you can see this is greater superior orbital. We have got two orbital fissures. One is superior orbital fissure. Here you can see this is superior orbital fissure, and there are certain nerves which have to enter into the orbit. They pass through this superior orbital fissure, and those nerves are third nerve, fourth nerve, and third is oculomotor, fourth is trochlear, and lateral rectus abducent nerve, and beside that first two divisions of the trigeminal nerve. So in coming next videos we will discuss middle cranial fossa. Thank you very much.